Today in Capture One, we're going to make lasers. So we're going to turn this image into this image. And we're going to do it all in Capture One without going to Photoshop. Okay, so let's start all over. I've already done this skin, and if you haven't watched my Capture One video on how to do skin, I'll link to that below. It's a 5-step process to do it the right way. Easier to obviously go into Photoshop, but if you're going to do it in Capture One, you might as well do it the right way. So let's get started by adding a new layer. And we're going to call this one lasers. And what I want to do is I want to try and make this more interesting in the iris part of the eye. So we're going to zoom in here, and you're going to find when you work in pretty close in Capture One, there's an annoying thing where it likes to redraw the screen every so often. And we're going to kind of stumble our way through that and pretend it doesn't happen, but it's not a perfect program in some ways, and that'd be one that really kind of drives me nuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the brush, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose a small size, something tiny, but not too tiny, and I want a low flow, and we're going to check the airbrush option. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of draw into the iris here. So I'm going to use my M key so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And the longer you kind of hover over an area, the more pigment you're going to lay down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of following the lines that are already in the eye here. I'm just kind of having a little bit of fun, just doing whatever I want to do. There's no rhyme or reason. And of course, you can do this on things that aren't eyes. This experiment was done in an eye because it's what kind of inspired me to do it. But the technique itself is really the goal here, is to teach you a tool that you might be able to use to problem solve another image. Not to say that making lasers and eyeballs isn't a cool thing, but probably not something you're going to come across very often. But if you can use this technique to do other things in retouching skies or automobiles or robots, it's all good. So I'm done here. I'm just kind of freewheeling in some little bits, make it more interesting. I could probably take time to make a much more sci-fi looking thing if I wanted to, but for the sake of the technique, you'll get the point of what I'm doing. All right, so I've kind of marked that, hit the M to turn the mask off. What I want to do now is play with the part that I was talking about that's going to be annoying. So every time we move this, it's going to kind of make the image blurry, and then it's going to get sharp again. So I'm just going to play with the exposure a bit. And you've got a lot of different things that happen depending on the tool that you're using in here. And obviously you can stack them. Clarity is also very interesting to consider. There's the shadows, there's highlights. White doesn't really do anything, but black could kind of play to clamp some of that down if you'd like, but basically just play around. But where it gets really interesting is when you start to play with color balance. So remember, we're still using the same mask. So now we can play with this, and it'd probably be the shadow one, I would imagine, that's going to have more of an effect in here. So we can kind of push the green, which is the direction I wanted to go. And again, we can play with the lightness of that green and kind of make it over the top. And the idea here is to really kind of push the effect. And we can go with green everywhere we'd like. And this one doesn't really have as much effect. And I don't think highlight will is either, no. It's really the shadow one that does the most work. But, try them all out. This one has a nice little bit of a tint going on to it. So you could do this. I'm sure you can do it with the advanced color editor as well, but this one just seems to be easier to use to me and more intuitive. All right, so once I have that done, let's back up and take a look at our work. And I'm pretty happy with that. It's freaky, and freaky is the word of the day. So now I want to do is I want to have like that laser line, like she's looking into a laser or something like that. So I'm going to do, and I'm going to create a new adjustment layer. We're going to call this line. And again, using a brush, but maybe a bit bigger. And I'm not really going to change much, but what I want to do is I want to follow the contour of her eye. So I'm going to hit M so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of make a line down here so it wraps around the contour there. And I want to make this line straight. So once I've let off the pen here, I can hold on my shift key and go down here and tap, and you can see it drew that line. So I'll kind of make this a little wider here, and then the same kind of thing, but I'm not going as far down each time. So it's kind of doubling or tripling up this area in here, but yet it's still straight. Okay, so what can we do with that? Do the same thing. We can kind of come in here. I would drop the saturation though, so her skin color isn't really in play so much as, again, this funky thing. So we can go probably mid-tones this time and play with adding some of that green in there and making it more laser-like. Again, play with all of these and see if you can really kind of amp that color up a bit. But I'm betting that mid-tone's working the most, although this one's not doing too bad either. So that's kind of interesting. And so I'm just going to kind of play with this a bit. And if we want to make it a little more like it's a light, then we'd have kind of a blurry-ish bit to it. So the bigger brush, I don't kind of over the whole thing. That's really your call. I think I'm going to get rid of that. I like the thinner line, but I want to do something on top as well. So I'm just kind of taking this and following the contour of the lid, and then again a line straight up. So something along this line. Something just kind of fun. And then in the world of painting, so the light would come in this way toward the eye. It would hit the cornea in the lens and go down into the pupil, obviously, but some of it refracts around inside of the eye and ends up hitting this far side of the iris. And this is called a moon. And it looks just like a C shape with a dot in the middle. So if I make the C shape and put a dot in the middle, that will kind of add a lot of light to this. And I can obviously go over that catch light as well. So you can kind of make that a little more obvious in here and really kind of freaky it up a bit. And then, of course, I want to do the same thing over here, but I probably want a little bit softer brush just because I want to make it look like it's more depth of field-ish. So, I have some green in the eye here. And then, this was kind of the line similar. So it just looks kind of the same, but we won't give it as much love because it's in the back and it's blurry. Good enough for me. So there you go. A little bit of laser fun inside of Capture One. Hey, that rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So why is this handy? It may not be, but the fact that you can do it in Capture One is, again, what makes it cool. We didn't have to go to Photoshop to do something kind of creative and crazy, and that's why I love this program. Everybody, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.